Hey everybody, thank you for helping out with STEM advising on Thursday and Friday. We're going to have our students enter through 7108. That way we can keep the 7106 side for math tutoring. When they first enter, we're going to have them check in here at the instructor station, and there will be a Google form for the attendant to help them fill out. At Station 1, which is our check-in station, we will have two windows open. We will have this Google form for the student check-in. We're just going to collect their name, their ID number, their current degree program, and their intended transfer school and degree program. We need their contact information so that I can email them after the advising sessions on how exactly to change those courses from being in their WebAdvisor queue to actually being registered for them. So our attendant at Station 1 will fill this in for the student. If they don't know their student ID, we will also have Colleague open so that we can search for the student's ID number by their name. Also at Station number 1, we are going to be handing the student a STEM advising worksheet. On this worksheet, the student can go ahead and fill in the top, and when they get to Station 3, there will be a space for their advisor to help them pick their courses and make sure the days and times don't overlap. On the back of this worksheet, there are some important dates the students need to know, such as when WebAdvisor opens, certain holidays where the school is going to be closed, last day to withdraw, last day of classes, last day to pay tuition, first day of classes for spring, things like that. Once they have checked in, we're going to have them move to Station number 2. Station number 2 is going to be the pod at the very front of 7108, and we could fit 6 students and have just 1 or 2 people circulating, helping them to print off their eval from WebAdvisor and also their baccalaureate degree pathway from their intended transfer university. The computers at Station number 2 will have these links available so that our students can log into WebAdvisor and print off their evaluation. If you've never done this before, you're just going to want them to log in under Students. And then down here at the bottom right corner, they want to print their program evaluation. I am only registered for Con Ed. You should see those little radio boxes for whatever program they are currently enrolled in. We don't want them to change their program of study right now. If they're not in the correct program of study, we're going to want to collect the information so that we can help them get it changed. We also have a link for the university websites so they can get their bachelor degree pathway, and we can help them to pick out the appropriate electives. So there are links there for all of the public North Carolina community colleges that take you directly to the page at that university where the degree plans are posted. We will have them find their degree plan and print that out. And that will help Station 3 move much quicker. Once they have collected those materials, we will have 2 pods for advising. We're going to call this Station number 3, and it's going to be both of these pods. Here, the students will be able to sit down one-on-one with an advisor to help them decipher what exactly they just printed out and help them choose section days and times for their spring courses. Since WebAdvisor is not actually open for registration right now, it's very important that we help the students to pick out those courses to make sure that they do not overlap, and that we record that information on their worksheet, because we cannot register them for courses today, but we want them to have all of that information. The calendar is optional. That's just if you need to work out whether things are going to overlap or not. But recording the subject, the course number, the section number, the days and the times is very important. When they enter these courses into WebAdvisor, they will need the subject, the course number, and the section number. Just a couple of general advising tips. Math and science courses don't have quite as many offerings, and they take up larger blocks of time. So it's advised that you pick those first. There are a lot of Englishes and humanities and social science sections, and they are much shorter times, so they're easier to fit in around the math and science classes. Also check to see if the student needs to take ACA. We will want to plan that for the next semester. And then once we have chosen the math, the science, and identified that if the student needs ACA, we can fill in their general education and their elective courses around the math, science, and ACA using their program evaluation and their bachelor's degree pathway. And make sure that you record this information on their student worksheet. That way, when they move to Station 4, they can enter it into WebAdvisor. After we have those chosen, we're going to have the students enter the information into WebAdvisor on their own, just so they can get that experience and hopefully get comfortable with it. Maybe at some point be able to do all that for themselves. And that's going to be Station 4 back there. We could fit 6 students there. There could be 1 or 2 people circulating, helping them enter those courses into their WebAdvisor shopping basket. The computers at Station 4 will have instructions to help the students log into WebAdvisor and explain to them how exactly they can add these courses into their registration queue. You have your student log into WebAdvisor. They're going to want to click on Students and then Register for Sections. And since they already know exactly what sections they want of their courses, we can do express registration. So the fields that need to be filled in here are subject. The sample that I have on the worksheet is math. The course number is 285 and the section is 001. And we are registering for the 2019 SP term. So you can put all of their courses in here at once and hit submit. And when you do that, these courses will be added to their WebAdvisor registration queue. One thing that you want to check before the student leaves is that only their desired spring 2019 courses are in their queue. If they have old courses from previous semesters, we're going to want to delete them. So if I determine that the EGR 214 is not something that they're going to be taking spring 2019, I'm going to want to remove this from the list. And when we hit OK, we can go back to register and drop sections. It will take you directly to the WebAdvisor queue, and we see that only the math course that I selected is now in there. We want to make sure that the students run into as few problems as possible when they get home and they actually register for these courses on their own. If there are a lot of courses in their queue that are not valid for spring 2019, they may get errors, and then they've got to come back and we've got to help them again. After we have finished all the STEM advising on Thursday and Friday, I'm going to send out an email to these students explaining exactly how they can go back into WebAdvisor on Monday, November 5th and move those classes from their shopping basket to actually being registered for them. Thank you so much for your help.